Hello, it's Essie, the homeless woman, and I'm here to tell you guys about the story time of why the police came after me so hard, trying to lock me up. Well, I've been in this city for over 12 years. When I first became homeless, this is not the first city I came to. I came to a city that is maybe about 15 minutes from here for like the first 6 weeks, and then I drove here. When I got here, I liked it. I was like, this is where I'm gonna live, home or no home. And so I stayed here. Found the library, found the park, and all that stuff. Um, this city do not like, well, I wouldn't say this city, the police here. They don't like homeless people living here. A lot of the police, they said that they live in this city. And I'm like, and because I'm not a criminal, so um, you may think you're better than me, but you're not. I don't think you're better than me, so I'm not leaving just because I'm homeless and you don't want me here. So I stayed, and I have been harassed by the police ever since I've been here. Them trying to get me to leave, using excuses like, well, we don't want the kids to see, people living in their cars. And then telling me to go to like San Diego, Corona, what other city? Temecula. So I'm thinking to myself, well, if the Marietta kids can't see people living in their cars, then what makes them more special than the Temecula kids and the Corona kids and the San Diego kids? Those kids can see people living in their cars, but the Marietta kids can't. So I was like, this is a bunch of bull. So I stayed here. And even though they didn't like it, they tried all the little tactics, the lies and stuff like that. I had one officer, and me and this officer was never on good terms. Um, One night, he told me to leave the city. I was on E when he told me to leave the city. Lied to me, told me that it's illegal to sleep in your car in this city. So I left, went to the next city. I was so scared I was going to run out of gas. I got to the next city. I was crying. I was upset. I could barely sleep. I called the police department, and I asked if I could talk to someone. The lady said that they were in a meeting, that she was going to have someone to call me back, either a watch commander or a sergeant. And so a man called me back, and the man was honest. And he told me, when I told him what that police told me about, it's illegal to sleep in your car in the city of Marietta. He told me, well, no, he said, it's illegal to sleep in your car on the streets. He said, but you were in the parking lot. That's private property. I said, oh. So I was like, okay, thank you. And I came back the next day. Still scared I'm going to run out of gas, though. So they would use this lie to me every now and then, and I would correct them. And I would tell them, no, I'm on private property. That's the streets. They actually tried to use this lie with me earlier this year. Like, I'm a veteran now. I'm a homeless veteran in this city. So you trying to use this lie? I've been here for over 12 years. You trying to still use this old lie on me, talking about it's illegal to sleep in your car in the city. And I'm like, nope, I was on private property. he was like, oh, yeah, I do think this, it's on the streets. And so I have been harassed back and forth with the police department in this city of Marietta. And so some of the officers didn't like me, and I didn't like them either. So I had got to a point where I was just fed up with the police. Just fed up. Just leave me alone. Like, I was not doing anything but crocheting, watching YouTube, a lot of times sitting in front of a Starbucks using the Wi-Fi. Nothing else. Wasn't loitering, wasn't littering, wasn't prostituting, wasn't selling dope, was none of that stuff. Right? So why are you harassing me so hard? I was starting to think too that maybe because I'm black is the reason why they was doing some of that. Because there was Caucasian homeless people here too. I feel like they were coming after me more. I know too that my tags, I'm sure, had something to do with it. How is this, gonna drive around here with expired tags? I'm sure they was thinking that. But I got to a point. I got here in 2011. So 2016. So I've been here 5 years, and I've been putting up with the police. The police been making me cry because when I first got here, I didn't say anything back to them. I got to the point where I was so fed up, I started talking back to them because I was just tired. I was fed up. 2016 in the spring. Now, they had already started watching me a little bit, but nothing to the level of when I called 911 on this new officer. So it was a new officer that came out. I don't know if he was an officer from another police department coming here to work, or if he was just brand new. But when they came out for his first night out, he was with another officer, and he was driving. There was another car following. So like I said, they always take the new officer to the homeless people and train him the first night on the homeless people before they let him go by himself. So they brought him to me. And he wanted my ID. I gave him my ID. I said something to him that he didn't like. And I heard him repeating it to the officer when they got into the car. But some of the officers just ignored me because I started mouthing off at this point because I was tired. So, but he was new. He didn't know me really. And so he didn't like it, what I said to him. And I heard him repeating it to the officer when he got in the car and drove off. I kind of knew I was going to have a problem with him in the future. Now, fast forward 2 nights later. He's by himself now. They have turned him loose. And now he's back at my car at night. And so he came up. I haven't went to sleep yet. My windows are not covered yet. I'm just sitting in the car enjoying the night, the quiet night. A lot of times I would talk to Yahweh. So he comes. He's on the passenger side. I let the window down, and he has his flashlight shining it right in my face. I couldn't even see who he was. I didn't even know that he was the new officer that came to my car 2 nights before. So I'm trying to see. I'm like, who are you? He said, you don't need to know who I am. And so I could see a little bit. I caught a little bit, and I was like, oh, that's that officer. So I told him, go away and leave me alone. He wouldn't go away. I picked up my phone. And I repeated it more than once. I picked up my phone. I called 911. They answered the phone. I told them I have an officer here harassing me. And I need someone to come. 911 transferred me over to dispatch for the police department in this city. So when they transferred me over, The dispatch answered the phone. 911 got off the phone. So dispatch is talking to me. I'm like, send someone now. A sergeant, send someone now. So the officer, I could tell he's kind of like panicking because he kind of like stepped away and he came back. And so he said, who are you talking to? And I act like he didn't say nothing. And so I didn't say anything. And the dispatch heard him. And she says, answer the officer. And I yelled at her and said, I don't have to answer anyone. I know my rights. I don't have to say not one word to him. But I didn't say it like that. I was real loud. And she was like, I'm getting off the phone. I said, send somebody right now. Send a sergeant, somebody. So they were sending somebody. So she got off the phone. And when I don't know if he was a watch commander or what, but when he got here, it was an officer that I had seen for years, And he was always cool to me. He was never mean to me or disrespectful to me. And so he came and he talked to me. And while he was talking to me, the other officer that came back to harass me just eventually walked away, got in his car, and left. So me and the other officers talking, and so he was like telling me to calm down and all this stuff. So eventually, this is the officer that came to talk to me I think he was like Puerto Rican. And I had the police called on me before, and he came, and a Caucasian man came with him, officer, and the Caucasian officer to ask me why I wasn't in the alley somewhere. And that was the same Puerto Rican man that looked at him like, no, he didn't just ask her that, like why I'm not in the alley, So I didn't go off because that was during like the early parts of me being homeless. But this is what I had to put up with the police officer. Caucasian police officer going to ask me why I'm not somewhere in the alley because I'm homeless. So this is what some of these people think about homeless people, that you should be somewhere in the alley. I have seen homeless people be places in an alley, under a bridge, in the bushes where nobody can see them. What they do, they come and they tear down the bushes. There was a group of homeless people off a highway entrance, and they were all in the bushes, right? I didn't even know they were in there. I was told this is where they are. And I said, okay, I'd never seen homeless people right there before. So when I got on the freeway one day, I was looking really good through the bushes, and I saw a tent. I was like, wow, I've been getting on this interest for years, and I never knew that homeless people were living up in these bushes. They ran all those homeless people away. Yeah, ran them all away, cut down the bushes. Like, so even if you are somewhere hiding, they're going to come and they're going to make you disperse. And this is what they do to homeless people. Everywhere you go, they're going to run you away. You're going to be constantly getting up, moving. Getting up, moving. Getting up, moving. I had made a conscious decision that I was not going to let them run me away. I was born in this country, and I can be anywhere I want to be in this country. And I choose to live here in this city. And I wasn't going to let them run me away. And I've been here over 12 years in this city. And they haven't run me away yet. And I told them earlier this year, when I went off again on the phone, that I'm going to leave this city when I want to leave it. And ain't nothing they could do about it. Unless they want a lawsuit. Because they sure have harassed me enough for me to sue. And they know it. So anyway, after the nice Puerto Rican man left, boy, they came down on me. The next day it started. I was watched 24/7. I was under surveillance. And this went on for years. Now, I don't believe I was under surveillance for 24/7 for years. I don't, because they were even watching me on holidays, Christmas, every holiday. I was being watched. They really thought that they were going to find something to arrest me for. Right? There's no way I could be this perfect. They got to get me for something. All these years later, 2016, now it's 2023. So I'm telling you, I know police have done more things that they could be in prison for. It's so hypocritical, you know. I see police commit crimes all the time, but they locking up other people for less charges than the things that they have done. So I was constantly being watched. I had people coming up to me asking me for dope. I would turn them down. I had people come up to me asking me, can I buy them cigarettes? Nope. I can't. Because I knew they were watching. I was not about to do anything that could jeopardize my freedom and give them the satisfaction of seeing me locked up in prison. Because that's where they wanted to see me. They, I believe, literally let me drive around with expired tags just so they could find a reason to lock me up for something else. Yeah, but it worked out in my favor. So anyway, I would say things to them. I would call them, fill out a complaint that they're watching me. Why are you watching me? We're not watching you. Oh, they lie. Lie, 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 lie. But you can't lie to them, right? So, to this day, they have not admitted to watching me. I just went to the city hall meeting in February of 2023 this year, and spoke at the meeting, and it's told them that they have been watching me for 7 years, that I have been under investigation. I talked to the chief of police. When I walked out, he came out after me. That's because the mayor pointed at him and told him to basically to go talk to me, and so he came out after me, and we talked in the lobby on the couch, and he said that they were not watching me, which is a lie. I'm not stupid. I know I'm being watched. So even after that meeting, and he said that they weren't watching me, I caught one of them watching me. I put it on my homeless woman YouTube channel. It's a short. It was a Toyota Camry, and he was watching me when I went to eat. They know where I go eat at because I go there a lot. So he was in one area on the other side of the parking lot, so he could see, but I went over at the end and he couldn't see me, so he moved right in front of me, and I'm looking at him like, yeah. So I recorded it and I put it on my YouTube channel. But one thing I noticed when he parked in front of me is he kept throwing stuff out the window, throwing stuff, just paper, tissue, just throwing stuff out the window. And I knew that he was doing that because when I talked in the city hall meeting, when I left them messages, I said, I don't do this, I don't do that, I don't even litter. I kept saying that, I don't even litter. So then he's in front of me littering like crazy. So I knew that was because I said that. So anyway, fast forward to now. They have put so many man hours into surveillancing me. So much money they have put into surveillancing me because I pissed them off by calling 911 on a new officer. And when I sit here and I think about it today, I wonder, who was that officer? Was he just any old new officer? Or was he kin to someone? Was he kin to the chief? Was he kin to the captain? Was he kin to someone in City Hall? The way they came after me, I don't believe that he was just an ordinary. It's a possibility that he wasn't just an ordinary new officer, that he probably was kin to somebody higher up. So that's what happened. I still think that they watch me from time to time. I know that they're not watching me 24/7 like they were. I still think that they know my every whereabouts. Because they do have a undercover surveillance team. So they have to give them something to do. Do I still think I'm on that surveillance list? Yes, I do. Yeah. So there's times, even right now today, where I think I'm being watched by them. And all because I pissed somebody off, because I called 911 on an officer, and they use tax-paying dollars to get revenge. You use the badge to get revenge on me, to try to lock me up. And now I see why, a lot of black people are in prison because of people like this that use their badge and their gun to get revenge on black people. I see documentaries now, and I be seeing police officers set up black people to lock them up. It's a lot of black men in prison now because a police officer set them up, because they pissed off a police department, dead or in prison, because they pissed off somebody in the police department. I'm telling you, if I hadn't had the protection of Yahweh, I would not be sitting here. I 100% believe that if it wasn't for Yahweh protecting me, I would not be sitting here today to even make these videos. I told you guys how, I don't know if I told you, but on my other channel, Essie, a Child of Yahweh, I talk about my dreams and my visions. And one night I had a dream that these 3 men were planning on kidnapping me and violating me. I can't say that R word. And they had a place that they were going to bury me. When I woke up from that dream, I said to myself, this ain't nothing but Marietta PD. Do I have any proof that it's them that was plotting and planning? No, I don't have 100% proof, but 3 men, who else is it going to be? And plus, at the time I had the dream, they were really mad at me. Really, like, pissed at me. So yeah, I think it was them that was planning and plotting. But what Satan has for you, Satan has plans for you, just like the Heavenly Father has plans for you. But Satan plans for me ain't going nowhere. So he can plan all he want. I wasn't afraid at all because I know that's not my fate. Not till I do keep hearing something. I think it's a bee in here. I will write a review on Murder PD, and I would say, um, what you got planned for me, what happened to you. It's something how people can sit up and plot and plan somebody else's demise, and what they think going to happen to them. Like, you really think you have control over your own life? You got control of somebody else's life, you think, because you're going to plan to take them out. But you think that you have control over when you live or pass away. Anyway, this I've been talking for 25 minutes. It went by so fast. Well, I'm going to have to end this video, but yeah, they're still watching from time to time. But I don't care. I put all my trust in Yahweh. I'm still here, and I'm still fine, and I'm always going to be fine, because Yahweh has shown me my future. And my future is not being put in prison or 6 feet under by Murder PD. Y'all have a good day. I'll talk to y'all later.